for digital. We're going to do stage 10. We've got 12 steps or 12 stages for the hero's journey, and this is going to be the 10th. We've got 2 more to go, and I've been broadcasting these. I think they are helpful. Now, if you've got a story, if you've got a fictional work, if you've got a short story, you've got a screenplay, you've got a memoir, you've got some creative work, this is what you need. The Hero's Journey, originally conceived by Joseph Campbell, and then also by Vogler, who adapted it for Hollywood screenplays. And it's extraordinarily valuable because it tells you how to increase your story and improve it. And that's what I'm attempting to do. So this is stage 10, the road back. Once they've attained the reward, it's time for the hero to get on the road back to their ordinary world. But what is the road back, and how can this stage develop your third act? More conflict, higher stakes. The road back is the moment of your screenplay that leads your character towards the final climax. They've survived the ordeal, which is the midpoint of your story. They've gained a special weapon, elixir, piece of knowledge, eye-opening experience, or some form of reconciliation that they will know will help them face the final conflict to come before they can go back to their ordinary world. This is the launching point of your third act, where you transition from the second and venture into the final stretch of your protagonist's journey. The ordeal is the first major conflict they face, usually written as a false climax where things change and the conflict evolves. The road back is where the protagonist sees the light at the end of the tunnel, but faces yet another challenge, this time with higher stakes. In Star Wars, after Luke, Han, Leia, Chewbacca, and the droids have escaped the ordeal within the Death Star, they're on their way back to the hidden rebel base with the plans that can lead to the destruction of the Death Star. But it's not over yet. They're attacked by incoming TIE fighters. This is Luke's first confrontation with engaging enemy fighters. This is where we learn if he's going to have what it takes to become a pilot for the rebellion. While his piloting skills aren't directly utilized, we get to see a little foreshadowing of his targeting skills. Would you like to see that scene exactly? Get in touch with me. I'll send it so you can see it for yourself. The road back offers you the chance to keep the conflict coming. And when you do that, you continue to engage the reader and audience, compelling them to stay with the story. You raise the stakes just a little bit more above those found within the ordeal, but not high enough to eclipse the upcoming climax. Showing the light at the end of the tunnel. There's sometimes a slight lull in the action or conflict between the ordeal and the road back, a moment or sequence where the protagonist regroups with their allies or collects their thoughts, leading into the continued hurdles and obstacles they face before the final climax. This offers the reader and audience a chance to regroup and breathe after the action or drama of the ordeal. You want to give the characters some form of accomplishment and hope, and then, as any good writer should, you want to throw them even more conflict at them, just as they are about to believe that their journey is almost complete. When you watch most films, you'll feel this shift within the story, to the point where it feels as if we've turned a page from the second act to the third. It's Indiana and Marion in the boat with the Ark of the Covenant below in storage. Get in touch and I'll show you that scene. If you remember that, it's a good one. They've successfully recovered the Ark and have managed to negotiate a way to transport it. They are on the metaphorical road back to the ordinary world. We see the light at the end of the tunnel until, yes, I can show you that scene. Watch what happens. More obstacles and hurdles. Setting up the third act. If there's a specific purpose that writers are looking for when considering using this stage of the hero's journey, it's all about setting up the third act. When the hero has faced the ordeal, they've experienced the biggest conflict of their journey thus far, but now they have managed to survive it. We need to now flip that page to the third act by introducing more conflict and upping the stakes. And even more important, we need to understand what's at risk going into the third act and eventual climax, the resurrection. The road back stage of story structure offers you the opportunity to reset and show us what has changed, how it affects the protagonist and their allies, if any, and what they have to overcome to prevail at the end. In Raiders of the Lost Ark, Marion is once again captured and the Nazis have retaken the Ark. To make matters even worse, Indiana no longer has any allies that he can rely on to save the day. The road back stage of his story ends with him climbing onto the Nazi U-boat, alone. We've turned the page to the final conflict of the story, Indiana rescuing Marion and recovering the Ark. It's the perfect segue. It lets the reader and audience know that things are starting to wrap up and that they should prepare for the exciting, thrilling, hilarious, scary, or dramatic finale to come. The road back allows the hero and the reader and audience to see the light at the end of the tunnel, if not for a few brief moments. It then introduces more conflict, higher stakes, and reveals everything that is at risk going into the climax of the protagonist's journey. Well, that's it for this particular Stage 10. There are all kinds of bonus scenes that you're not familiar with or you don't remember them. Get in touch with me, I can show you. Now, did you get the Hero's Journey worksheet for your own story, your own screenplay, your own work of fiction or memoir? Get in touch because I can help you structure your story and strengthen it using Stage 10 and all the other key elements of the hero's journey. That's it for this particular episode. Until next time, we'll see you at Stage 11, Deus Vult.